It's just life in the bush, you know, and my young days as a stockman, and I was never what they call a jackaroo. I went straight into being a stockman, and I went over to Tabletop Station where old Uncle Dude was the owner of that, and he wasn't my uncle, but everyone called him Uncle Dude. Anyway, we just kept talking from the time I got there. And he said to me, "We better put the billy on, boy." So I go over and I grab the bloody billy can and I tip out the water and the tea leaves are in it, and "Oh no, laddie, just add to 'em." So it was too late to add to that pot. So anyway, we boiled it. We had a cup of tea and the bloody all black tea out there. You didn't have milk. Sometimes you had milk, but anyway, I talking, and he said, "Boy, we might put another billy on, boy. What do you say?" "That's what I say. What do you say?" And yeah, all right, dude. So I go out and I add the tea leaves to it this time, and put the billy out on the fire. And anyway, we had another bitty cup of tea. Anyway, it's getting late, and we're talking, and we talked till about 11 o'clock that night. Anyway, he kept saying to me, "We got an early start in the morning, boy. We better get to bed. What do you say?" "That's what I say. What do you say?" And I said, "Yeah, dude, okay." And we talk again. "I might put a billy on." "What do you say?" "That's what I say. What do you say?" And I said, "All right, dude." He said, "Might make a new brew this time because there's no more room for water in it after all the billies we've made." "Yeah, okay, dude, we'll make another fresh one." So we've made a fresh one. "Well, we better get to bed, boy. We got an early start in the morning." So okay, we get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. The blackfellas went out with the night horse and brought in the horses for the day's muster. And there's they cut a horse off and they had it in one of the pens in the yards, and the blackfellas on there, and it's bucking away in the yard. Anyway, we were supposed to be gone. We were supposed to have been away from the camp a mile or two before the sun come up over the horizon, but it was 10 o'clock before we left the station. We're still yabbering. He wanted to hear the stories that I had to tell. Anyway, so we better get going. We've got long days ahead of us. "What do you say?" "That's what I say. What do you say?" And I said, "All right, dude." So he's walking in front of me, and it's about 100, nearly 200 yards from the house to the cattle yards, and he's bent over and he's bow-legged, and he was 72 actually. Anyway, I'm looking at him. I thought, good Lord, he's not going to get on a horse surely. He walked up to the yard rails and he just climbed over them like a kid, and he's in the pen where this horse is that's been bucking with the black fella, and he looks up at the fella sitting on the railing, and he says, "You buck him out, boy?" And the black fella, "Yeah, dude, he's okay now." So, so he climbs on this horse, and the result was just kid stuff. Straddled it beautifully, and off we went mustering. We went out through hill and dale and wild country, chasing wild cattle. Anyway, we end up with probably a couple of hundred head of cattle coming home now, and it's dark. It's about like this colour dark now, about I don't know what time, about 6 or 7 o'clock in the evening. Sun's well gone down, and we're riding the top of a spur on this mountain, and he's standing up in the stirrups behind these cattle at a gallop, cracking the stock whip through thick trees, thick tree country where I'd get tangled up. I'd get pulled out of the saddle because the whip would get caught in the branches or some bloody thing. But no, he's up there and he's got these cattle galloping back to the yards. Anyway, we yarded them all up. Yeah, but I always set my life on old Uncle Dude. I always thought if I can still climb on a horse when I'm 72, I'll be bloody happy, Yeah. I've only got about 4 years to go. But anyway, and I'm still riding bucking horses now. That's buck jumping horses. wild stuff, breaking in horses still. So yeah, but anyway, that's how it goes, eh? But he said to me, I'd been with him for about 4 or 5 months, and he said to me, "We better get some supplies." Okay, dude. I said to him, what horse am I going to put a pack saddle on to go to town to get the supplies? He said, no, he said, to take the truck. And there's this old green truck in the shed, the chooks are laying eggs in the glove box, and the bloody, it's a rust bucket of a thing. And I said, does that go? He said, yes. He said, all you got to do is crank it. I said, okay. He said, no battery in it, just crank this bloody truck. Anyway, I go out there and crank, and the bloody thing fired up. Well, there was chooks and rats and bloody bandicoots flying out from every direction. Smoke and dust and spiders. Oh, crikey, it was a real circus, you know. Anyway, he's rattling away in the shed there. Okay, so I hopped in, rattled it into gear. Come to the first gate, only half a mile from the house, and it's a 3-rail gate. So I put the foot on the brake, and it didn't work. It just went straight to the floor, clunk. So I reached for the handbrake, pulled the handbrake clean out of the floor. It was rusted off. By this time, I'm going through the 3-rail gate. Busted through the gate. So I get out, and I looked around. I looked for a mile and a half. You couldn't see a straight rail anywhere, but you could see all these broken ones that piled up at the gate like firewood, and some of them cob and coat together in the middle, or one holding two together. Oh, it was a circus. So anyway, I've managed to put a few rails together, and off I went. Now I know there's no brakes on this bloody thing, but that was okay. I could understand that. Most of my vehicles didn't have brakes. It was a good idea not to have them anyway, because you depend on them. So anyway, the next gate's down in the valley, right down the bottom of the valley, and it's about half a mile like that. So I got it in the first gear, and I've got it chugging down the hill. When I'm about 50 metres off the gate, I jumped out and I'm running for the gate. I had to leave it in first gear so it wouldn't get a roll up. And I'm running. I get down there and I'm trying to get the hook off the chain. I'm looking over my shoulder and look at what I'm trying to do, and it's tight that he wouldn't come off. And the truck's getting closer and closer. Finally, I get the hook off and I throw the gate open just in time for the gate to whistle past me, the truck. And it's going up the hill now, going up the other side. And I'm trying to get the hook on now to catch up to the truck. So I get the bloody hook on, I'm running up the hill, and it's just about to conk out. And I just got in on time, and chugga, off I went. That's okay. I got into the town, and I bought all the supplies. And I'm coming back home now, and same thing, down the hill, I run ahead of the truck again. And I get the gate open, and the truck went through, and it's driving up the slope by its lonesome. Anyway, I get the chain hooked and run up the hill, and go like lickety-split to get up the hill. Anyway, I get up there, get in the truck, and off I go. And there's this lovely drive now. This is sailing along, you know. Come around the bend, and here's the 3-rail gate. Oh, Jesus Christ. Too bloody late. Straight through the 3-rail gate again. What crikey. So anyway, boy, it took me a long time to find some rails to put them back together again. But anyway, I got the groceries there, and old Uncle Dude said, how'd you go, boy? He said, did you get all the supplies? I said, yeah, dude, everything's there. I said, but I had to patch the 3-rail gate up. He said, oh, that don't surprise me. He said, everybody goes through them. Oh, I was once a horseman, a rider of renown, who loved it all, the glamour and the glare, the handshakes and the backslaps from the false friends that you meet. But when the heart is young, then everything seems fair. A home of friendly neighbours, with kiddies running round, I threw away to wear a tint of brown.
Well, now they'll always come and haunt me, what I might have been and done, when the cattle are all bedded and the horses hobble down. For as you grow older and must give the game away, you're just a name that blazed a while ago, and your thoughts they may have left you like another name that's new. Oh, then you go to droving cattle, it's the only job you know. And by some lonely fireside you'll be sitting all alone, while the boys are having fun there back in town. Oh, I know it 'cause I'm here tonight with a lifetime to regret. Oh, when the cattle are all bedded and the horses hobble down. Oh, there's a rustle in the treetops as the night wind softly sighs. The old campfire has burnt into the ground, and my thoughts have slowly drifted like the smoke up in the trees. Oh, when the cattle are all bedded and the horses hobble down. Oh, when the cattle are all bedded and the horses hobble down.